Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Prime News. And while this is going to be probably a quicker episode today, that's just because there isn't a lot of massive news. However, there's a few interesting things, and maybe the most interesting is what we're leading off the show with today, and that is a new rumor surrounding Animal Crossing on Switch. Now this comes from Loot Pots, and I'll have a link down to them below if you've never heard of them. They appear to be a news website / blog. I don't know. I used to run things like this, so it could be a completely irrelevant place. I've never heard of them. But they claim to have sources that Animal Crossing for Switch will release in Q1 or early Q2 next year. Now, we're not talking about fiscal. We're just talking about the quarters of the year. So basically either in April or May. Personally, I think Animal Crossing is coming out next summer. I think that's a good release point for it, but whatever. We don't know how Nintendo's lining up their game releases outside of the fact that Daemon X Machina should be an early title next year, as should, well, probably Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I think they did say would be a Q1 game. So again, we know about those two. We don't know when Animal Crossing is landing. They're claiming that. They're also claiming it's going to be running at 60 euros and or 60 pounds. Essentially what they're saying is it is going to have AAA game pricing, which I think is completely expected. I mean, they charge full AAA game pricing for things like Biotennis Aces and Kirby Star Allies. Obviously, Animal Crossing would be at that, so $60 USD should be the expected price point. Again, I don't know if I really trust this source, but it's still interesting that it's out there, it exists, and I am actually curious, when do you guys think the best release window is, best month maybe, for Animal Crossing next year? Next up is a very interesting story that I'm mostly covering because I know it's going to interest my kids, and that is that Nintendo and Lunchables have teamed up with a Super Mario Party themed Lunchables. They're the ones that have like pepperoni pizza and juice and candy, whatever. It's cool. My son's going to be all over that. But what's interesting is obviously this team up isn't just about putting some art on the cover. It's about doing a giveaway. There will be 500 winners, and these winners will win a Nintendo Switch, a copy of Super Mario Party, carrying case, and an extra pair of Joy-Cons, so you can obviously have 4 people play. So yeah, very, very interesting giveaway. There'll be codes, obviously, inside the packaging. Look for that this October and November, because this is a fall partnership. Really, really cool. I'm glad Nintendo's doing stuff like this. They obviously had the Super Mario cereal last year into early this year that now seems to be vanishing off store shelves, and now they're teaming up with Lunchables. I can't wait to see what team up they do next, but I'm really glad they're trying different promotion strategies like this. I think it's fun for children, it's fun for parents, it's fun for everyone, and it's a great way to spread the word of, hey, we have these games coming out that are kind of family friendly, so check them out. My kids like Lunchables. I'm not the biggest Lunchable fan myself, although I used to like them when I was a kid, so, I mean, kids. So reviews are in for Mega Man 11, and the overall Metacritic score is about an 82 at the time of recording. Now, it might have fluctuated since then. It appears that Mega Man games essentially bounce around between like a 75 and like an 82, 83. So it's at the higher end of what Mega Man games are usually rated. And in general, the takeaways seem to be highly positive. The review scores themselves are, just like most games, are all over the place. The bigger outlets seem to be a lot harsher on the game than some others. IGN gave it a 7.5. Must be too much water. And what is it, GameSpot or whatever, I think gave it a 7. Whereas Nintendo Life was a lot more positive and giving it a 9. I think Destructoid gave it an 8.5. So there's just a wide range of scores out there like there usually is. But it's just interesting to see where some of the mid-range sites are giving it higher scores than some of the high-end sites. I think Easy Ally is one of my most respected review outlets out there. Right here on YouTube gave it an 8.5 as well. So they all basically agree that no matter what you want to think about Mega Man 11, it's a great setup for the future of the Mega Man franchise. It definitely feels like classic Mega Man that's been kind of like reimagined a bit. And that makes me totally stoked. Remember, Mega Man 11 lands on Nintendo Switch and your other preferred platforms tomorrow. Speaking of reviews, the first review of Super Mario Party landed yesterday in Famitsu, and it hit a 34 out of, well, 40. Now, if you don't know how Famitsu does the reviews, they essentially have 4 different reviewers rate the game out of 10. They add those scores all together, and that's how you get the 34 out of 40. Now, 34 out of 40 is a pretty standard basic score at Famitsu. Anywhere between 34 and a 35 is essentially a really good game. And when you get to the 35 plus range, you're talking about games that that I guess Metacritic wise would be like 88s and up. So it's not quite in that range, but it's gotten good ratings, and based on the translation on Go Nintendo of the review, I don't want to spoil too much, it appears that everyone actually really loved the game. It's just in some modes there's no way to skip certain animations, which they wish there was there. So I can see that being an annoyance, especially if you're trying to play a quicker match and all of a sudden you have to waste 5-6 seconds on an animation instead of just hitting a skip button. It is one of the complaints that also exists for Monopoly, is some of the animations can't be skipped in Monopoly on Switch. So I don't know. It's just something we're going to have to get our hands on and try for ourselves. But in general, the reviews were pretty positive about the game. Now, we're going to have to wait and see for obviously all the reviews to land here, and we'll update when those come out and what the Metacritic score is, because I plan to pick up Super Mario Party hopefully this Friday when it comes out, and I'm cautiously optimistic that this could be a good one. I really like the mini games. I don't mind motion controls, but I haven't necessarily played a mini pack collection of motion controls since the Wii days, even during the Wii days, that I truly loved all the way through. So if they can make me love these games all the way through with the motion controls, that would be great. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know if I'm going to review the game yet. I haven't really decided. But what I do know is that I'm definitely going to be live streaming it whenever I do pick it up. If not this week, next week, whenever. I can't wait to play some Mario Party with hopefully some online. Unfortunately, there was no information in the Famitsu article on if they had online play. So I guess we'll just have to wait for the North American and European reviews to drop sometime this week. Lastly, I don't know if this is even going to be a Switch game, but it has me so excited. I need to talk about it anyways, because it could be. There's a history of these games on Switch. And what am I talking about? Well, that is a brand new Harry Potter RPG. Yes, a brand new Harry Potter RPG leaked on YouTube of all places and got almost 600,000 views before WB shut it down. And the fact that WB has shut it down and is copywriting, striking like every channel that re-uploads the footage, is a clear indication that this is pretty legit. In addition, several big websites have come out where they've reached out to their contacts at WB who have responded and said, yeah, that footage was real. Now, the footage is off camera, so it appears to be maybe a private demonstration or a private trailer showing, maybe even within the confines of WB, that somebody captured footage of and leaked. Whatever it is, it looks amazing. It looks like one of the best Harry Potter games possibly ever. Now, we got to get our hands on it and make sure it's not super clunky and stuff, but from what we have seen, it looks fantastic. Now, while I can't show you any of the footage, I got some various screenshots up here along the way. What I can do is link to a mirror of that footage down in the description if you would like to go watch it yourself, because we're not going to get our channel striked for like showing footage we're not supposed to. That being said, I got to say, it's one of the most impressive looking games, just games period, I've seen in a long time. And this is just off screen. Again, we don't know if this is coming to Nintendo Switch. Highly likely it's going to go to PlayStation 4 and Xbox, but will it come to Switch? It's a good question. We've had a lot of Harry Potter games over the year, a lot of them that have come to Nintendo, some that haven't come to Nintendo. So we're just going to have to wait on this one, but I feel that this is, especially now that the cat's out of the bag, we're either going to get confirmation and a full reveal of this game really soon, or at least like early 2019. Heck, maybe this was supposed to be at the Game Awards or any the PSX or any of these other shows that are supposed to be going on before the end of the year. But I'm pumped. I'm a big Potterhead. I don't know if you guys know this. It's not something we talk about very often. I've read all of the books. I've seen all of the movies at least 3 times each movie. Some movies I've seen 5, 6, 7 times. I love Harry Potter, and I can't wait to just get what might be a truly good Harry Potter RPG. I'm not going to say there haven't been good Harry Potter games before, but there really hasn't been that outstanding, great Harry Potter game, which seems to be the case with any sort of film and book adaptations at times. But this one looks special, it looks unique, it looks different, and I can't wait to at least find out more information about it, and hopefully we're talking about this game coming to Nintendo Switch. That being said, I am Nathaniel Jets from Nintendo Prime, and if you like the video, you hit that like button. If you dislike it, that's okay, hit that dislike button. Subscribe for more content, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.